Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining me here on the Greetery YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be showcasing our Holiday Hatchback dies and showing you how to assemble this cute 3D car using the main Holiday Hatchback die. There are also some coordinating add-on dies which I'll be showcasing as well and giving some tips on assembly. So let's get started. I have die cut all of the pieces from the main Holiday Hatchback die. I die cut the main car pieces from red. I die cut all of the window pieces from kind of an off-white cardstock, the tires from black, and some of the metallic accents like the front grille and bumpers from a gunmetal metallic cardstock. All of these pieces are labeled on the guide that you'll find included with your die. This guide will be face down between the die and the backing card inside the package. So be on the lookout for that, and that will help you identify all of the different parts and pieces included in this die set. And I'm just doing some prep work here. I'm adding a little bit of shading to the window pieces using Lost Shadow Distress Oxide ink, just kind of adding some shading to the bottom edge of each of those window pieces. I'm also going to take a metallic silver colored pencil and draw some just real quick kind of reflective lines to make the windows look like they have little reflections on them. Just super simple little details that is really going to make my cute little car come to life. Next, I'm sponging some ink onto the optional wood grain panels that can be added to the sides of the car. These were cut using the Holiday Hatchback accessories die. The accessory die includes these wood grain panels for the sides and the back of the car. It also includes an optional little taxi cab style sign that can be added to the top of the car. So I'm sponging these with some brushed corduroy ink and also some ground espresso. And then I'm also adding some splatters using brown watercolor to really make these panels look like wood. Now, before I start assembling my car, I'm going to add all of the details while my car is still a flat piece. You'll notice on the main die cut card piece, there are lots of scored details. These will indicate where all of the extra little detail pieces get adhered. So you can just really go ahead and match them up and nest them inside those scored lines. There are lines for the front window, the back window, and also the side windows. Note that the front and back side windows are slightly different, so you'll need to make sure you get those in the right position, and you'll be able to see that from those embossed lines. I'm also going to go ahead and add the wheels. I die cut these from black. I'm just adding one to each of those circles on the main die cut. Now I'm also going to add the wood grain side panels. There is a scored line that can act as a guide for where to position those. Each side is slightly different, so just match up the wheel cutouts. I'm also going to add the wood grain panel to the back hatchback portion. Now I'm going to add the grille, and I'm adhering that just below that curved cut line on the front of the car. And then I'm also going to adhere the little license plate to the back. I also have the little taillights, but I have coated those with some glossy accents to give them kind of a glassy look, and I've set those aside to dry, so I will add those later. Now I'm going to start assembling my car, and to do that I need to fold on all of these scored tabs. You'll see lots of little scored tabs around the edges. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold on all of those score lines. And just keep in mind that the neater, crisper, cleaner folds you can achieve at this step will result in a cleaner, neater finished project. So I'm just striving to get really nice, clean, crisp folds on all of those tabs. Now I'm going to add adhesive to all of those tabs. Keep in mind that if you want to be able to open the hatchback portion of your car, do not add adhesive to the tabs on the back of the car. So where that hatchback is going to go, just leave those tabs unadhered and you'll be able to tuck in the hatchback and it will stay secure that way. If you want to create more of an ornament or something that you can't open, then of course go ahead and add adhesive to those tabs as well. I'm using liquid glue. You can use whatever adhesive you'd like. You can use liquid glue. You could also use a score tape or double-sided tape. This is Barely Arts glue. It has a nice needlepoint tip, which is great for all of these little tabs. It's also fairly quick adhering, so when I'm putting it together, it does bond pretty quickly, which is great for 3D items. Now I'm going to add the base of the car. There's a small tab on the front edge of this base piece that gets attached to the front of the car right under where the grill portion of the car. So you can go ahead and score on the fold lines here. There's that tab at the beginning of this strip, and then there's a couple of smaller kind of angled pieces that fit onto the tabs around the tires. So just start off by adhering that front tab on the base piece right underneath the grill portion of the front of the car, and then secure it onto the other tabs on the base of the car. And then finally, you can go ahead and close it up by tucking in that hatchback tab. In order to help that stay closed, I do find that it helps to give those folds on the hatchback portion a really good crease. So I'm just giving that a nice tight fold there on both the tab and the angled portion of the hatchback. There is also a little half circle tab. It kind of looks like a little hitch on the back there. Just fold that out and pop that out, and that's acts as a little tab for you to grab onto to open and close that hatchback. There are also these cute little bumpers that can be added to both the front and the back of the car. Next, let's take a look at some of the cute accessory topper dies that we have available as well. These are a separate add-on purchase. These are all available individually. First of all, we have the little skis. This little set consists of dies to cut both the skis and the ski poles. Next, we have the luggage topper die. This set includes 2 different sizes of adorable little luggage pieces that can be stacked on top of the car. The set includes the actual luggage piece as well as trim pieces for both and handles and some tiny little tags. So I'll just really quickly show you how to put these together. I put a piece of score tape on the tab that connects the box as well as the side tabs that close up the box. So I'm just going to fold on all the scored lines and connect the one edge of the luggage piece to that tab to close it up into kind of a tube here, and then I'll fold those side flaps down. When I'm creating a luggage piece, I like to make the piece that has the straight edges, not the angled edges, show on the outside edge of my little box there. If you're using this as a present die instead, which I've showed in several different photos and projects on our site, you can also use it as a little stack of presents. Then you might want to use the flap that has the angled sides as your outside piece that shows. So it's just up to you. But for the luggage, I like to use the straight edge. And so I just have some score tape on those flaps as well. And once I have it all folded up, I will push those flaps down to close it up. And then it can be embellished with the little leather looking straps, I guess you would call them, that get wrapped around the little boxes. And there are some scored lines to act as guidelines as to where those get adhered. So you can add those. And then also the tiny little handles. I've cut them from some metallic cardstock, and the little tiny tags, which I'm also going to just adhere. The third add-on topper die is the tree, and I'll show you how you can use this die to create a dimensional tree to add to the top of your car. So I started out by die cutting 3 of these from green cardstock, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scoring tool and I'm going to score down the center of each of those 3 trees. Then I'm going to fold on that score line, and I'm going to adhere all 3 of those together kind of back to back. The tree die is symmetrical, so it works to adhere them back to back. And like I said, I'm just going to adhere 3 of those together. And what that does, it gives me a dimensional tree that has kind of a flat bottom. So that flat bottom can then be attached to the top of the car. And last but not least, I'm going to show you the little taxi cab style sign that can be added to the top of the car. This little sign is found in the same die set that the wood grain side panels are included in. It's the Holiday Hatchback accessories die. And I'm going to be stamping on this with a little sentiment, which is actually from our Cheermobile stamp set. The Cheermobile set is kind of the 2D or flat stamped version of this cute little car, which the sets really don't coordinate other than that the small sentiments that are included in that stamp set that fit on the little sign on top of the car from that set do also fit on the little sign for the Holiday Hatchback. So I have stamped that, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold on the score lines and adhere those two bottom tabs to create my little dimensional sign, which is kind of like a little dimensional triangle. Looks just like a little taxi cab sign, and that can be added to the top of the car. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this how-to video on assembling all of our Holiday Hatchback products. These dies are available from thegreetery.com and are part of our 2023 holiday collection. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you soon.